mad. Like, I don't get mad like this. Oh, why don't I walk myself down the aisle? Hello, husband. We're getting married. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not in the mindset to film a video.
A few minutes later.
Oh, okay, so listen to this. For so many years, okay, we were fine with the concept of God, with the concept of marriage, with the concept of like all these natural things. And then now who want to keep the traditional stuff, now they're considered the crazy ones. It's worked out for so long. Why is it now a problem? Really think. As you can see, like, I was a little bit emotional today. My nose is swollen. I don't feel put together. But, you know, some people take hours to get ready for a YouTube video. I don't have the time for that. Who has the time for that? Today, for Halloween, we did something at the church. And we were with kids and stuff. And, yeah. Okay, I really gotta start this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you guys seem to really like the part 1 and part 2 of my Andrew Tate videos. So I'm gonna do a part 3. However, this is not gonna go on for too much longer because, you know, the interview is not like hours and hours long. I just want to point something out real quick. I feel like people are kind of concerned, like they think I'm looking too much into this or whatever. Guys, it's not that I'm losing sleep over this, believe me. I'm losing sleep over other things. Like, this is just content for entertainment purposes. This is something to talk about, right? But there's some people who will spend their time, like, you know, they like playing like video games or like watching movies, and that's your choice and that's fine. But it's like, those are things that are like not true. Those are acting, they're made up. But then say stuff about people who focus on real life issues that can actually change society and make it better, right? People who speak out and people who have their thoughts, they're quick to get like attacked, or they're quick to be like, why do you care? Why do you care? We can speak on whatever we want. And I'm just very passionate about these things. I'm sorry if I seem angry. I'm not. It's just, you know, I see so much happening and people are not doing anything about it. They're not speaking up. They're not doing anything, you know. I actually like having these discussions. I really do.
Do you think women are the property of men?
No. The point I was making...
Why have you said they are?
Because I made a religious point. I said that when a man marries a woman, the woman's father walks her down the aisle, and hands her away to the man. Traditionally, this is what it says in the Bible. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I live in the most religious country in the world.
So you do think that the woman becomes the men?
I think she takes his last name.
I mean, let's watch the clip that you said about this,
sure,
so that we can get it in context.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Absolutely.
But I've been married twice, as it turns out, and on both occasions, I didn't believe that the woman was being handed to me as chattel, as property.
Perhaps the way the reason I'm asked that question repeatedly, and I'm asked in a loaded way.
So would you rephrase what you said there?
Now, that's an interesting point about phrasing. The way I would say things before I was famous, I have to take personal responsibility and accept.
Right.
That's good. You know, sometimes the way we word things changes everything. Like, from personal experience, you know, there's been times where I've worded things differently, or they worded things differently, and there was like misunderstandings and things like that. Like, not like in terms of this, just like in general. So yeah, it matters how you word things. However, if you make a mistake, just like clear it up with the person. Doesn't, like, not a big deal. Before we continue this video, as always, don't forget to like, comment. I know who does it. Subscribe, hit the bell, share with your friends, and let's get on with this video.
My sister is her husband's property.
She took his last name. She married him. She wanted to join his family. She has said it herself.
Right, so she's
still a sovereign individual. She's absolutely not a sovereign individual.
Property means that the husband owns your sister.
Okay, guys, I promise we're not going to go into this whole property thing, because I think we did that in part 1. We're not, I promise. Let's just continue, okay? Before y'all click out.
My friend, if we want to argue about this, we need to go back to the Bible, to the Quran. You need to argue with religious
people. No, I'm not.
Okay, wait. I saw Michael Knowles. He made he did his take on this, and he mentioned that Andrew Tate is like misquoting things in the Bible, or he's kind of taking it wrong, or like taking it out of context or something. See, you know, we can get to the whole like logistics or semantics of this or whatever. I want to say something about the walking down the aisle. I'm going to be honest about this, and I don't want to be open about this yet on my channel and whatever, because I guess it's not something I've fully healed from, or it's not something that's fully, like, you know, gone. But I will tell you guys what I feel about this whole walking down the aisle and why I feel the way I do.
I think in the Bible or Quran.
But that's what it says.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I think that if a woman marries a man and she decides to take his last name, that they have different roles and responsibilities within that marriage, and I believe that...
That's not the question.
I believe the father...
Don't behave like a politician.
The father hands her to the man.
Right, but don't be a politician, because I think you're a straight talker,
Sure.
right? You keep telling me you're a straight talker. I think my sister is her husband's property. Do you regret saying it like that?
I understand that with my newfound faith.
The whole, like, the sister property, someone said this in the comments, and it was, the father hands her over. It's kind of like the father's passing the responsibility that, like, hey, now it's your turn to take care of her, type of thing. That's what some people take it as. But then maybe him, Andrew Tate, or maybe not Andrew Tate, and other people take it as, like, okay, here's the property. Like, look, there's a lot of traditions, like when we blow out candles, Halloween, that has all these deeper meanings, or meanings that were associated with something bad, yet we still do them. And I feel like it's all about intention too. You know, like, there's so many traditions that go back to the days that can be taken wrong, or were actually discriminatory, or they were actually whatever you want to call them. But it is what it is. But I still have something to say about this.
Perhaps it could be phrased differently. However, I still believe that a woman is given to the man in marriage. That's what I believe.
Yeah, but not as property.
No, the property is the word that other people use when they ask me the question.
But as
Like, as
an equal
responsibility,
partner
maybe?
in a loving union. That's what marriage actually means. It doesn't mean
In some
that when you
cultures,
get
they
married, the
both
woman is
walk
given to
together.
you as a bit of chattel.
Agreed.
So why say it?
But that's the way that people ask me the question. People say to me, they ask the
Oh, hang
question.
on. You can't blame people for asking you questions. Surely, if you want to be accountable for what
Sure.
you've said, you've got to own your responses, not blame the question.
I own the response.
It'd be like me asking you a
Okay.
question now, and you say something, and then say, well, actually, I blame you for
I
asking.
understand, Piers. Piers, I understand. I believe the woman is given to the man. I believe she's given away by the father. I believe she belongs to the man.
So you
she
do,
belongs to
so
the man.
fundamentally, all right, so fundamentally, you do believe that a woman becomes a man's property at
I
marriage.
believe she belongs to the man in marriage, correct?
Right. Oh, you see, that to me is misogyny.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
Right. But do you not understand why people think it is misogyny?
I understand why some people can be very offended by what I say.
I have to say something what he said at the beginning about the walking down the aisle. If I ever get married, and I'm probably younger than you guys think I am, so this stuff isn't really at the back of my head now. I mean, it is at the back of my head. I mean, it's not really at the front of my head, as well as pregnancy, children, especially with what I go through. It's not at the front of my mind. However, I want to say this. As of right now, and again, this can change. This very much can change, and it probably will. It might. At this point, how it stands, if I'm going to be walked down the aisle by someone, I think it has to be both my parents or nobody. And there's a reason why I don't want just my dad to do it. I don't really want to get into it, but if it really is symbolic like that, it would be nice, both my parents. I actually saw this Reddit story where some girl wanted her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend to walk her down the aisle, and people were going off and they disagreed. In some cultures, they do both parents. So I think I would like both parents. That would be nice. That would be really symbolic. So listen to this. The practice dates back to the days when women were the property of their father, and he gave her away in exchange for a dowry. I don't want to say that. Wow, so that's where it came from. Interesting. Like, that's what I was talking about a few minutes ago. When there's some traditions that have, like, dark meanings, or have meanings that now would be considered, like, crazy or discrimination or unfair or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm not, like... I don't get mad like this. Oh, why don't I walk myself down the aisle? Hello, husband. We're getting married.
I don't want to twist anything at all.
Then let me make it very, very clear to the camera. I believe a woman is given to the man in marriage. I believe that.
Given
I
in
also
what
believe
way?
a man has a duty to protect and provide for her.
Okay.
I believe a man should lay down his life if something happens or his wife's life is threatened. I believe that
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I feel like there's so many people nowadays that will not sacrifice their life for their spouse. Not going to make this about genders, but honestly, some people don't even want to sacrifice their life or fight for their country or fight for what they believe in. Some people don't even want to fight for what they believe in and their opinions and speak out.
women and children first are on the lifeboats.
But men,
I believe that men...
But a man doesn't own a woman.
It's not, no, it's...
Unless
Okay.
they literally buy them as a slave.
Well, obviously we're not talking about that. We're talking about religious, biblical marriage. We're talking about something else.
Yeah, but I'm a Christian. I don't believe that I own my wife.
Do you believe your wife was given away to you when she took your last
I
name?
believe that there is a process where a father traditionally walks his daughter down the aisle and hands his
You know,
daughter.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what if I keep my last name and then take the husband's last name, so both names? But then I realized that my last name is technically my dad's last name, which is like, it all goes back, so it's like, who cares? The thing with my last name, though, is it's rare. So it's like, if it's not easy for people to find me, but in a way, it's like, if they do find me, it's almost like, because there aren't that many, you know, forget about this whole like logistics, like property thing. Marriage is also in like a decline. Like, not many people want to get married anymore. Not many people believe in true love and marriages. They just believe in like the one night stand things. They don't believe things can work out. You know, you don't have to have an elaborate wedding with spend thousands of dollars and have all these guests and DJs and music, everything. You don't have to. I think Michael Knowles say this, because I want to give credit where it's due, that marriage is like, it was like a union, is like a, as you can see, these things are not as valued in our society. And like, I feel like as I got older, I started to realize like more like the importance, the significance, and of like these traditional things that I feel like we've thrown away and we've shamed. Like, it's like, for so many years, okay, we were fine with the concept of God, with the concept of marriage, with the concept of like all these natural things, and then now it's like the people who want to keep the natural things, the people who want to keep how things were, they want to keep traditional stuff, they want to keep tradition. Now they're considered the crazy ones. Now they're considered the bad ones. It's worked out for so long. Why is it now a problem? And really think. I feel like some people blame it on trauma, you blame it on like money, you blame it on like, you say, oh, like I don't want to get married because he's gonna treat me badly, trauma, and then all of a sudden you find the right one and you're like, we can get married, you know? The point is, people are just abandoning all these like values and things like that. And you know, I want to say people can do what they want, but at the same time, it's like, but how is it affecting society? How is it affect? You guys get what I'm trying to say. But the point is, the fact that people who want to go back to old ways that are not harming anybody, that were actually good, like I mentioned, that were benefiting kids, family, society, is now considered like, oh, the crazy ones, right? Now they're considered the bad ones. Think of that.
To this man, and they stand there and become a union of two loving people in a partnership. No, there's no ownership involved.
I didn't say
he's not selling her. The father of the bride isn't selling his daughter.
No, absolutely.
That's what property means.
She becomes a member of your family.
Is it?
I think we're arguing over semantics.
We're not, though, because fundamentally, I don't believe a man owns a woman. You do.
Well, I don't think a man owns any sovereign individual. I don't think we live in the world of slavery. I don't own any man or any woman.
When young, impressionable people who are not as smart see things like, I think my sister is her husband's property, yes, and you've just reaffirmed that belief, they think that they have the right to own women.
I understand that very well, Piers.
That's why people think you're a misogynist.
Completely. I understand all of this very well.
Okay, I'm just gonna end this here. So that is all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to leave requests down below as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.